Hello, hello, it's Kim Corallo. Shut the front door too. We are a wreath door hanger vintage gift store out of Lexington, Kentucky. And today I'm gonna show you what we found at the estate sales this weekend. I was so lucky to be able to go to two, and then just shopping throughout the week as well. We did find some good things, and let's just get started with this little duck. I love brass, and I know that cool metals are on the rise. I like them really well too, but I don't find the brass animals much anymore. So I was thrilled. I was gonna say floored, I think, I don't know, but I was thrilled to find this little guy. He's a good size. He's a really good size, so that you could put him, on a side table, a desk, or a shelving unit. Add a lot of character and a lot of fun. And ducks are super popular right now. I think it is so interesting working with this vintage decor, what ebbs and flows. And I just have like I just pick up what I like. And I have a wide variety of things, of course, anything art or handmade, but also the moody aesthetic. I like the blue and white aesthetic. So I just think that it's kind of funny how an item can be really, really popular, and then it just sort of falls out of fashion for a while. However, I don't decorate my home on trends, and I don't suggest you all do that either. And let me tell you why. There's nothing wrong if that's what you do, nothing wrong with that at all. But if you buy things that you truly like, that you truly really like the aesthetic of, you're probably not going to get tired of it very quickly, which means it can stick around for a while, which makes it a better value for your dollar. Okay, let's look at this little duck. I didn't mean to go on a tangent there. Look at this little guy. I love him because I love that colorway. This would look really good in an office setting. I also think it would really look good in a cabin. Now, that doesn't mean it wouldn't look good just in a home that has sort of, that moody kind of vibe. I think it would fit in really well there, but those are just the areas that kind of come to mind. Let me show you this little pottery piece. It's handmade. I usually pick up pottery, handmade pottery especially. This little guy has initials. It's not signed, but it has initials. This one is just fun because when I am building vignettes at the salon, I will take in the vintage things and build vignettes at the salon and at the booth setting. I'm always looking for a little small something to finish it off. And these types of things work out really well, but it also has a purpose. It could be really a good item to have in the kitchen to hold your toothpicks. So that's just a little suggestion there. And let me show you this guy. I picked him up this weekend, and they had matchsticks in it. And I mean, yeah, you can use it for matchsticks, but I would say a vase. I didn't test if it was watertight or not, but I love the detail on the front and the back. Even just on its own on a shelving unit, oftentimes you need something with some height, and this would give you that height. And then with that detail, it also gives you, some interest. It makes it have a little bit more flair. Cut to clear glass. This is probably check glass. I love it. I love glass anyway, but I love things that have the detail and design that this cut to clear has. I have currently only two pieces. I have this red one. They're both photos just alike, or green. I have a red one and I have this green one. So let me show you this cool little piece. It's just a fun piece of art. Could really add a lot of interest, could be a good conversation piece. And I think good conversation pieces, that little unexpected, sometimes a little weird, what words are hard. That's what makes your home kind of unique. And I thought this would be really good just for that. But anyone that likes music, right? But if you're a trumpet player, especially, or a music teacher, you know, really fun for those types of people. Maybe my favorite piece. I think it could be a fun decorative piece on its own, just like this. I think this could maybe, unless this is too high, I didn't have a piece of art, but I think it could hold a piece of art. There are 2 slots. I think this is a male sorter for a desk back in the day, but I think there are all kinds of purposes now. Even a napkin holder could be fun for someone who likes to entertain and have parties. I don't pass them up. I still really like them, and I don't see them that often anymore. These little peacock chairs are great for decor, but they're great for plant risers or plant stands or plant holders, whatever you want to say. You just plop your vase right there, and then your plant, you know, is really cool sitting on its own little chair. But they're also good, you know, for a little girl's room if they want to put their dolls or their stuffies on a chair. So I think there's lots of ways you could use that beauty. I found what I think are handmade pieces of jewelry. This is definitely freshwater pearl. This is definitely sterling silver, and it needs to be polished, but I think that's blue topaz, and this is so beautiful. This could also be just taken off, and then you could just, you know, discard the pearls if you don't like it on the pearls, and just, if you had, you know, a sterling chain to wear it on. And then this one, I'm almost certain those are just turquoise beads. They could be real turquoise, but I'm gonna say turquoise beads just to be safe, with that druzy stone, and then that's a brown pearl, and again set in sterling that needs to be polished. This is so beautiful. I can see this just like on a black, like if you just had on a black shirt and you know, a turtleneck or a crew neck kind of a shirt. I think it would look really, really pretty. Okay, oh, now this isn't vintage, but if it's a really good quality piece and I know the maker, I'll oftentimes pick it up because I know there are people out there that will buy it. Now this is a company that is actually based out of Lexington, Kentucky, but I believe they're not producing anymore. It's Clay Chick Ceramics, and I pick up their art when I find it. They made bases, and then they made these plaques or ornaments that were interchangeable, and then you would just stick it on with Velcro. I'm not gonna pull it off, but that's how they're stuck on. And this is a wall pocket, so it would really look fun just on like a kitchen or even an outdoor setting, and then maybe have some greenery coming out of the top. I think you could maybe even get away with it on a kitchen counter and use it to put your wooden spoons in. And it's, you know, it's obviously a pocket, so it isn't, you know, round, but I think you could get by with it because it is freestanding. I have found the plates, and then I have found at Christmas time, I found the black and white polka dotted cookie jar, and I kind of really wanted to keep that, you know, but I don't really make cookies or anything. I just thought it was so cute. This is probably, it's I mean, I guess it could be like a vase, maybe dried flowers, but I think maybe it was originally made to look like a canteen, possibly. I bought it because I thought it was cool, and I think it would look really good to break up a gallery wall, you know, to have that little unexpected piece, conversation piece. Art is an all-time favorite, and this botanical did not disappoint. It's double matted, it has the gold gilded frame, and I really, really like the colorway. So the size is also good. I picked up a frame, and for some of you that might seem a little odd, but I don't pass up frames if they're in the budget. And let me tell you why. Frames are, or to have something professionally framed is hugely expensive. I usually take these to the booth just as is. I don't put art in them myself, but people are always looking for things to put their own art in, but also just to craft or decorate with. You can, and I oftentimes use the frame flat and I'll build a vignette in the center, or you can also use frames and put other artwork in. Now, I don't know that this particular piece of artwork is right for this frame, but the size was good. So I wanted to just show you, you know, the idea. And then I'll go ahead and show you the nice piece of watercolor here. This is probably a black frame. It might be navy. The glass needs to be cleaned, but other than that, I really, really like it. And you can tell from the back that it is super old. One more piece of art and then we'll be finished with the art, but we still have some more pieces to show you. I need to work on the hanger for this, but look at this print. I just loved the colorway. Even though it has a lot of beautiful color in it, I felt like it had just that moody kind of vibe. I really like it, and I think it fits in for those folks that are really liking that cottage core look right now, especially with that white frame. Fused glass has always been something that I'm drawn to. It's amazing to me how, you know, an artist can take these pieces of glass and then fuse them together. This is a Peggy Carr piece. If you know that artist, you know that her work is desirable. This is just a fun colorway. It's a great size and would be good on a backdrop or just on an easel to show off the piece of art. Boxes are fun. It's just a good way to decorate. This I thought was stone, but I believe it might be some kind of resin. I still think it's fun. And with it being sort of that light color, I think if you have like a darker space, like just a wood shelf that isn't a color or maybe doesn't have lighting, something like this would really stand out, I believe. Plates, when they're decorative, are something that I will pick up. This one just had a beautiful color, I think, and I loved the flowers. I loved that it had the bird, and then these are reeds, maybe. I'm not exactly sure, but I really did think it was fun. And then, let me show you. A jewelry box. This one's in great shape. The top two drawers are they don't open, but the bottom two open, and then it has a lot of storage on the inside. Just people really love vintage jewelry boxes. They also are really pretty. This is stunning. Guys, there's no condition issues at all. None of the flowers or the leaves are chipped or broken, which is a miracle. It has that hobnail with the little ruffled edge. This is a left-in piece, and it's a, you know, like a vase or a rose bowl. I just thought this was cute. People love cats, and this, you know, just says kitty. What does it say? Kitty treats. And I thought it was super cute. And somebody, I think somebody will think that's cute too. And I think I only have one more thing to show you, which is this cool basket. Baskets are just fun when they're well made, but I left this grass in here. I will take it out. The reason why I left it in case someone wanted to claim it from the video, they could. And then not have to replace it if they wanted to use it, say maybe if they had some eggs for Easter to put in it, maybe a bunny on this side, you wouldn't have to replace the grass, or you could, you know, just say you didn't want the grass and still use it for that same design idea. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all that we had to show you guys. We appreciate you very much. We hope that you have the very best day, and we'll talk to you really soon.